In this video, I'm going to show you how to test your webhooks using an external tool that's free to use. It is called Postman. I'll quickly switch over to it now. Postman allows you to make queries to your webhook using either GET or POST and to submit values or parameters in that request for what you expect in your workflow. And that allows you to examine what happens when your workflow gets triggered. It also allows you to examine what the response back to the caller is. So Postman acts as a service or tool that is calling your webhook and is expecting some kind of a response. So let's quickly just go and set up a really basic webhook right now. And we're going to leave it as GET, and that means we're going to pass parameters on the URL, and we have the path that we're going to call from Postman. So we can click on that to copy it, and I've now copied it. This is a test URL, and all it does is it will listen. So we can save that and get out. And then we also create a webhook response, which is actually called respond to webhook, and that will give information back, and we will leave it as it is. First incoming item we're going to send back, so it's going to send back what it receives. So now we have a complete workflow. We can save that. We need to make it active so that we can call it externally, and we switch back to our Postman and we paste into this bar here the URL that was provided by the webhook request. So when Postman calls this, it's going to send a message to this endpoint, this webhook endpoint, and it's going to submit data. And so we will say value is test, and we expect to receive that information back. So we now go back to our workflow, and it's in a test mode. We can execute workflow, and it's going to wait. It says waiting for you to call the test URL. We come back over here, we hit send, and it's going to send this information, value equals testing, and we should get a response back pretty much straight away. And there it is. So we've now called it, we've received information back. It's complained and said the workflow webhook error workflow could not be started. So it wasn't able to trigger it, but it received an error message back. So we have called our webhook, but we got an error in return. So there was an error. Let's find out what the error was. It says the webhook node is not correctly configured. We need to set the respond parameter to using respond to webhook node. So down here, we've got respond immediately in the webhook. Now that we've connected the respond to webhook node, we need to tell it that that's what we're going to use to respond to the caller. So we've updated that. We can escape out of that. We can save our changes. We can do this once again and execute workflow. It's going to sit here and wait for us to test it. We now hit submit, and we now have a response, and we have header information, we have the URL endpoint, we have the value that we originally sent, so it's just gone sent it straight back to us, and it tells us what the webhook URL is that we communicated with. So we've now essentially called our webhook. We can go into the webhook and see that both of these are green. We can examine the executions. It's going to tell us that it processed correctly. We can double click into the webhook itself and see what information was sent by Postman. So this is all that Postman sent through to us, and it resembles something of like a browser or a client that's calling a service. We can see that params could have been sent but weren't. There is a query, which is the URL parameters that were sent, and we sent the parameter value with the value testing. No body was sent, and it was sent to this webhook. So this is a valid and valuable trigger of our endpoint. Let's go and try something a little bit different now. And what we're going to do is change it from GET to POST. What this does is it allows us to send a body of information in the call to the webhook service, and we might pass greater parameters, we might pass attachments, images, videos, anything like that. It needs to be a post because we are sending it in the body of the message and not in the header of the message. So we escape out of that and we hit save. We need to change the webhook to post. So this is the URL we need to use in Postman up the top here where it says click to copy webhook URL, because we've now changed it from get to post. We switch back to Postman and we change it from a get service to a post service, and we paste in our URL. And we can now pass in parameters, and we can pass in body if we want to. So we can submit form data to our webhook if we want to. And again, we can have key value parameters similar to what we had in the get model. So we're going to say value equals testing once again. We can pass encoded form data. We can pass raw data or a binary like an image or a video or something like that, a PDF document. We're just going to keep this simple, and we're going to pass once again the value and testing to see what it does. So this is now set up and ready to trigger to send, but we need to enable or start the workflow. So we execute workflow, waiting for you to call the test URL. We hit send, and we should get a response straight away. And now you can see that the value that was passed in the body and not as a query. So it's more structured and organized information, and you can send multiple part responses in that body. You can send much greater detail and information. We can see that both the nodes are green, so we received the information correctly, and we can see again that in the body this information was passed. So this is how you test your webhooks. You can test either get or post. You can submit whatever data you need into this webhook, and you can respond accordingly so that at the caller end you know whether it was a successful call or not. So in your respond to webhook you can show any kind of errors that might have occurred. Hopefully you found this useful. Please like and subscribe.